Welcome back to the shipyard. Today, Resource Rumble. This is round 2. Round 1, my camera battery died. So that only has like half a match on it. Sorry. Sorry to Craig and Joe. This match, John versus Dan. And I think we've seen this at least once before on camera. But this one's actually a pretty good match. So John's on the left. He's got a Grissom, a Defiant, and an Alpha Hunter. I like the mix of ships. The Grissom has reroll Sisko, Deanna, Troi, the old disabled Captain Troi, Mirror, Tasha, and a Warp Jump. So a super defensive Grissom, or rather, a Grissom you don't want to kill because if you do, it's going to do bad things to you. The 1764 Defiant has Ahab Picard, Rebellion, Battle Station Worf, the Fed Worf, Miro Ogawa, Type 8 upgraded, no, just upgraded, not Type 8, Dorsal Weapons Array, and Immersion Shielding. That's interesting. Alpha Hunter has Karr, Lure, improved deflector screens, Monotanium, armor plating, and the new Independent Torres. That's really good quality there. So consider that good. By the way, John has warp jumped his Grissom off camera. It is in the bottom right, so kind of close to the Galaxy class. Speaking of which, Dan has the Enterprise, the Yeager, and Voyager. No, not Voyager. Venture. Sorry, I'm trying to read handwriting. He's got original starter Picard on the Enterprise E with tactical stations, new photon torpedoes, Will Riker, crew Riker. The Yeager's got Spock, new photon torpedoes, tactical stations, Eric Motz, and Comm Station. And then the Venture has Data, Comm Station, Tactical Station, Dorian Collins. The Will Riker he's got is Skill Riker. So he gets to 12. Comm Station gets him with all ships up to 12. And that can hurt a lot. Here, John's taking fire. His Defiant's taking fire, in fact. And he lives through one shot. But running over the objective, he doesn't have quality. It's just a matter of time. I believe he dies here to the second shot, whenever that comes in. So I played Dan in the first round, and he managed to kill my Sutherland, which was not a ship that I really thought was going to die. It was meant not to die. And it's these new torpedoes. The photon torpedoes that come in the starter set really change the game. They're 2-point weapons. They're quality. They are insane quality. Just the blanks up converting, that it's everything you want out of secondary weapons. And they're really, really, really good. I have to emphasize that. What this tournament showed me is that secondary weapons are here to play a big part in this game for a long time to come. And I love that. I love that we actually have viable play styles that aren't just put a bucket of dice on one ship and make it unkillable and go. So, yeah. I should note, the one resource that Dan has available to pick up is Captain's Chair. John took advantage of a theme that Robert put into play, which was buy two, get one free. So he purchased co-pilot, intercepted messages, and auxiliary power, which is a very good 3. I bought 2 of the same 3. I did not buy intercepted messages. I bought scan cycle. But intercepted messages does good things. John's going very defensive here. Unfortunately for him, one of his ships, a very weak ship, the Defiant, died before he could gain his resources. I think he did manage to pick 1 up, but there's only so much you can do. Here we see the Grissom finally getting into the picture. Unfortunately, he's in a position now where the Enterprise E can take rear shots at him with photon torpedoes if Dan so desires. And really, he's up against somewhat durable ships. And he does not have a whole lot of firepower. Karr on the Alpha Hunter gives him 2 bonus dice sometimes. He's looking maybe at 4, well, definitely 4, sometimes 5 dice. 6 if he can get range 1. And then he's got a Grissom that's 2 dice. It does more firepower when it dies. And if it dies, unless he gets a kill in return, he's down even more points. Because right now, I should say it this way, Dan is up 47 points. So unless John can kill a ship, this thing's Dan's for the taking. And, I would not want to be sitting in John's shoes right now, because you don't have the firepower. And you definitely look at the Venture, the Enterprise E, and even the Yeager with its photon torpedoes. If it can get in range, it's got the firepower coming back at you. The one thing that John's done well here is that the ships have been so close that they haven't been able to use photon torpedoes. But then you're still taking primary weapon attacks, and that can hurt. That can definitely hurt. So, yeah, I sit here and I look at this and I go, okay, if I'm trying to give some advice on playing, and that's often what I try to do in these videos, is sit back and go, hey, if this could be done again, what could be done differently? I think that one thing would be to wait and warp jump later on the Grissom. Because I think the round 1 warp jump didn't help. I think that it actually put John in a weird place. It broke his fleet up. I probably wouldn't actually have warp jump on the Grissom in the first place, because I think it's a ship that you actually want to die with Tasha and the Grissom's ability. I think that it's a ship you just put in there, try to gather some resources, and then you say, hey, what happens, happens. I think you get that warp jump on the Defiant. But maybe the points don't work. Actually, the points don't work. But maybe you take Immersion Shielding off. I don't know. I think there's some things you can finesse to make that work. The Alpha Hunter, I think, is good. But I think overall, if I'm trying to play John's fleet, I think I spread my ships out. I think I kind of make my opponent chase me, and don't give him a whole bunch of targets in one place. Because if nothing else, I'm making him pick and choose. Now maybe that's bad for me, and that I don't have concentrated firepower, because I don't have a lot of firepower with this split fleet. But I still think I'm better off in a situation where my opponent has to chase me down. So, I don't know. Well, at this point, we've now exchanged Alpha Hunter and Yeager. And so it's Grissom versus Venture and Enterprise E. And boy, that's like the clincher for Dan. This thing is about all she wrote. I don't know that there's anything that John could do short of hoping that Dan flies a ship off the board, which I think is impossible at this point. But stranger things have happened in the world of Star Trek Attack Wing. Still, assuming your opponent is competent, you go, yeah, there's no way this thing's over. So, I think we've got another shot. Yeah, we've got a torpedo shot from the Enterprise E coming in. And, boy, the triple evade. You gotta love those rolls. Yeah, every once in a while, the dice will grant you a wonderful roll. And you got to enjoy those moments. So, while that one was not a game-defining roll, it was at least a point-saving roll for John. Maybe a roll that you sit there and you go, well, I can walk away and feel a little bit better about life now. I don't know. I've been there. I have definitely been there. I've had those days, and I've had moments where I'm just like, can anything go right today? I've already lost this match. Am I going to get wiped off the board? Oh, look, 3 evades. Nope, I live. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, I hope this match was somewhat interesting to watch. It was kind of an exercise in brutality by the new Federation torpedoes. But, boy, if you had told me 6 months ago that Federation torpedoes would be a thing and would be a game-winning item in a OP that didn't incentivize torpedo play, I probably would have called you crazy. So, hey, that's worth something to me. So, there you go. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care.